Can someone explain to me why I'd rather pay $60 for a game that's already out right now for $6.99? Let's talk about it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is TheNinaGabriella, and today we're talking about the Hello Kitty Island adventure game. This game is set to release for Nintendo Switch and PC on January 31st, which is only a couple days away from today. Now the thing is, Hello Kitty Island Adventure has been out since 2023. This game has been fairly popular. I even found myself picking it up a little bit. But the thing I have an issue with about these Hello Kitty games is that one, they're everywhere, and two, they're not supposed to be that expensive. But we know the fan base of Hello Kitty lovers. Yeah, you've seen those TJ Maxx videos. And to be honest, I'm not even that big of a Hello Kitty girl. I'm more of a cinema roll girl, you know, I just so happen to, I love my little cinema roll. He's really cute. Honestly, one of my favorite little guys. But I gotta say, I do love a lot of the Sanrio characters, even including Hello Kitty herself. But why is the price tag for this new game triple the price than when it came out for a phone game? And why I think it's just a little bit ridiculous, okay? Like, I'm sorry, in this economy? Honey. Now, we're gonna get into that very, very soon, but before we get into that, let's talk about some of the Hello Kitty games that you can get for a normal, regular price that came out years ago that nobody talks about anymore. Some of these games are actually still fun to today, and to be honest, I'm not gonna be going down the line of all of the kid-like games. I'm talking about games for the girls who grew up with the Hello Kitty, okay? The ones you can still go back to and have a little bit of nostalgia with. Don't get yourself a Sanrio girl, okay? Because we chasing the bag, okay? Here's a list of some Hello Kitty games that you can play on some of your older consoles if you don't want to pay that $60 price tag. We're also going to be talking about why I believe Hello Kitty Island Adventure is going to be that price and why I don't really think it's really worth the price, even though I know I'm probably going to end up buying it anyway. If you like what you see here today, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button for future game review videos. And if you'd like to join my members, which you totally should, I post a lot of behind the scenes stuff, just talking about daily life and how I make my videos, so on and so forth. I have a moving video that is coming out right now at the same time this video is coming out. So be sure to check it out. I'm also going to be starting to do some streams very soon, so if you have a video game stream recommendation, leave it down below. But anyways, let's get into it. Now, like a lot of things I like talking about, we're talking about some Japanese culture. Hello Kitty was first introduced in 1974, created by a Japanese illustrator, Yuko Shimizu. She was originally intended for young girls to be cute with her little bow. She was an unnamed character, but 2 years after that, the United States people loved her, and well, she's obviously a star. Homegirl's actually pretty old, like 1974, if you really think about it. But she finds a way to stay looking young, okay? I need those kind of genes. So let's get started. So as you guys know, there are plenty of Hello Kitty games out there, and most of the Hello Kitty games that were released were mainly for children. There were puzzle solving games, there was arcade style games, and we can't even go over the countless number of Hello Kitty games that are online for free, that are spin-offs, that are recreations of it. I honestly can't even go through all of them. But the games that we're going to be talking about in this list are games that came out a little bit later than that, and are a couple games that Hello Kitty fans might remember from their times of playing Hello Kitty when they were younger. Or just games that, well, I played when I was a bit younger. Along with a couple honorable mentions of games that I haven't played, such as the one you're looking at on the screen right now, that just look kind of cool and I feel like would be really awesome in a remastered state. This game right here is called Keroppi no Bouken 2. There's actually a first one, but I thought this one was just a little more interesting to talk about. Both of these games were released in the early 90s in Japan for the NES and for Famicom. Now, I don't think this game had a direct English port, but I've seen a lot of people make fan-made versions, such as this one that we're looking at right now. In the first version of the game, Keroppi is our little Mario brother, and he is searching to find his girlfriend. But in this game, it's a little bit different. The little critters that you just seen in the beginning screen had gotten captured by monsters, so Keroppi is trying to save the day. But I just think the style of this game is so freaking cute compared to the first one. I definitely feel like it has more of a easier storyline to kind of understand, on top of the fact that even the gameplay is very cutesy. It's very like Super Mario-like, and I think Sanrio fans would really love this if this were a remastered game today. But this is just kind of my first honorable mention. Let's talk about a game that I actually love and have played before. Now here's a game I actually had so much love for. This is Hello Kitty Happy Party Pals, which released in 2005 for the Game Boy Advance. I honestly feel like this game kind of set the tone for seeing Hello Kitty in all of these like different other parties places that I see her in. You know, Hello Kitty birthday this, Hello Kitty party this, you know. I really think this game did it right. In this game, you play as Hello Kitty, who has all these different parties for her friends. Through the game, your Hello Kitty is required to keep a certain percentage of happiness with all of the party guests by giving them gifts, talking with them throughout the day, getting all the supplies for the party, so on and so forth. But with that being said, you're also doing all of these fun little mini games, like you're making the invitations, you know, you're helping your mom with making the food, all kinds of cute little stuff. And to be honest, even at the age I am now, I still found myself loving this game while replaying it again. I think I played it for like a couple hours and I'm like, oh my gosh, why so much time has passed? I think for me, I just love the kind of feel of this game. It kind of reminds you of like an early Pokemon game almost. Like you're in your little house, you're walking around, you gotta go outside, you gotta collect different things. You know, all this stuff, I don't know, it's just something about it that makes this game just really fun to play, even as an adult. And if I seen this game in this day and age, I definitely would love to play it again. Now, there isn't too much to the game. You're not going to be doing any heavy storylines or anything like that, but it's just a classic game that I think kids love as much as adults would too. There's not a lot to do, of course, but I think the concept of trying to make the characters happy and doing these different tasks for them really gives you that incentive, like, okay, I gotta keep playing this to see what's gonna happen. And then all of the parties are different depending on, you know, what music choices you do, different themes for the parties, all of that. I don't know. I think I just love the kind of girlish aesthetic type of games where, you know, I gotta make something look very cutesy for some sort of end goal. Now, this game didn't used to run for that much, but I will say, if anything, I'm pretty sure it's running cheaper than Hello Kitty Island Adventure, but you can easily find versions of this game online, so I'd highly recommend checking that out if you want to just play this game for yourself. I think I paid like $13 for this game used, so don't feel like you have to break the bank for this. This is a pretty older game, and hopefully it's still floating around out there if you want to play it. The next game we're talking about is Hello Kitty Birthday Adventures. I was going to talk about Hello Kitty Party with friends or whatever, but this game is a lot more exciting, and the other one had just way too many mini games that I didn't feel like talking about it. So let's talk about this one instead. Now, if I'm being honest, I feel like this game is just kind of a revamp of the game we just talked about. So they added a couple, you know, more characters in it, and, you know, the storyline's a little bit more cleaned up, but I think it's worth mentioning if you have a DS and you want to play this game rather than your Game Boy Advance. This game came out in 2010 for the Nintendo DS, and I say this game is so charming. You start the game on you and your sister's birthday, Minnie, and you two have, I guess, the same birthday. I didn't actually know that they had the exact same birthday before having had played this, and I honestly forgot that up until this point, but here we are. But in this game, you do play as Hello Kitty, and you are starting to make friends with everybody in town, and you want to learn things about them so you can celebrate their birthdays with them. So every day in game time, you walk around town getting to know people, playing mini games, and learning more about them so then you can eventually have an awesome birthday party with them. Most characters have 2 mini games you can play, and if you win both of them, you get a gold medal. But there's also a lot of things to unlock, like Hello Kitty's outfits on top of stuff for the party. I think it's just such a cute game overall, and I gotta say I do love the day and night feature by there being different things to do at different times during the day. It's just overall a really cute game, and honestly, I could see a revamp of this, okay? But you kind of see how some of these games turn into what is now Hello Kitty Island Adventure. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like leading up to what is now the Hello Kitty game. You know, you see Hello Kitty wanting to be with her friends a lot. You know, it's just so cute seeing, you know, how much she loves her friends and everything. So I definitely think Hello Kitty Island Adventure is going to be a great addition to some of these older games. I just hope we can justify the price tag. But let's move on to our next game. Okay, I feel like a lot of you probably knew I was going to talk about this game, Hello Kitty Big City Dreams. Oh my gosh, this game is so awesome. And I gotta say awesome, like, still is awesome to this day. It's so funny because like playing this game now as an adult, and while also having had recently just played Hello Kitty Island Adventure for my phone, I can kind of see the characters and like how their charm is still being shown in the iOS/Android version of the game. You know, just like how awesome the characters are shown in some of these older games, they're still giving them that same charm, and I think that is so awesome. But let me not ramble, let's talk about the game. So this game first released in 2008 for the Nintendo DS, and there is a lot of Hello Kitty DS games now that I'm thinking about it. No, we're not covering all of them. Might have to do a follow-up or a part 2 to talk about more of them, but I will say this was probably one of my favorites. In this game, you get two beautiful, awesome ways of playing a Hello Kitty game. You get the mini game style that you've seen in previous games, but you also get to explore, which I think is awesome, even stepping away from the whole birthday trope we've seen in the previous games. In this game, you are Hello Kitty and you move to, I guess, the big city. I don't know why her parents decided to send her to the city. Doesn't say, but I think it's every little girl's dreams to think about what it's like to be on your own and get an apartment, things like that. So you can definitely see the appeal for the younger generation, and even as the older generation, I remember that apartment I used to have of mine and how I wish I could go back to it. So I definitely say I'm living vicariously through Hello Kitty right now. But in this game, you are able to explore and get to know the characters that are in your new area that you're living in. There's different locations within the city that have mini games you can play. There's a whole bunch of stuff you can do in this game, and it's actually really super awesome. Even the city that they're living in is really cool. Like, there's like a roller coaster just like in the middle of the street. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get on this roller coaster for 15 friendship points or whatever. Basically, the more mini games you play and the better you do with them, ups your level of friendship with that character, and you can use those friendship points to, I guess, do other stuff around town and unlock new things, and eventually get that big apartment that Pom Pom Purin was talking about. You can also use the friendship points to do things like customize your apartment, to decorate, unlock new outfits, items, all kinds of stuff. And you can even check your mail to see your status with other friends, and I think you can also send letters and stuff with that as well. Now, like other Hello Kitty games, the storyline isn't like, you know, super impactful and you're gonna, you know, learn a big lesson or anything at the end, but it's just overall lighthearted fun, and I think that's what Hello Kitty games should be. You know, I don't think, you know, most children who grew up playing these games was looking for heavy storylines and stuff, but I say games like this are just fun. Like I said, I had played this when I was a bit younger, but going back and playing this again was actually so awesome. I was like, wait, why am I really loving this? I think I got off this game at like 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? So it's just stuff like this you want to pick up every now and again. It's a cozy feel type of game and it won't break the bank, and that's what I love about it. So definitely say if you need a good DS game, you can definitely find some old copies out and about. Hopefully this game will eventually be remastered remastered or something. Hopefully we see it in a near future. I would love to see something like that, but I think the closest thing we might get to this is Hello Kitty Island Adventure, which we will be talking about very soon. Let's move on to a couple mobile games that will be free that might be a little bit more up your alley. Okay, moving on. This is Hello Kitty Dream Village. So I've picked up this game pretty recently. I believe it's on iOS and Android devices, and I gotta say, I actually really like this game. The reason why I wanted to bring this game into this mix is because while I haven't been playing it for long, I definitely think this is worth it since this is a free game that you don't need the Apple Arcade to get. And, well, granted, it's a gacha game, so free in air quotations, but I will say for what it is, I feel like people will find a lot of charm in this. And I wanted to throw like a very inexpensive game option out there for those who love Hello Kitty who also really want to experience some of the fun without having to break the bank. But in this game, similar to, well, the other game, you get a letter from your favorite character. You get to choose who sent you the letter, and you get sent to this cute little, well, dream village. You go to this town called Smile Town, and there you get to live your life by helping the Sanrio characters. So obviously I chose Cinema Roll because I literally love him, and I decided him to be my little smile buddy. I think I like this game because you are actually your own person as opposed to being one of the Sanrio characters like some of the previous games we talked about. You actually just get to be you living with the Sanrio characters, which I think is very, very cute. Now, I believe this game came out in 2019. I was trying to find out an exact date. Some said even as early as 2017, but I doubt that it is it. Really, I've been seeing a lot of traction from 2021, 2024, although I believe it's 2019. Don't quote me, just correct me in the comments, but nicely, okay? But right off the bat, there are so many customization options, skin tones, eye colors, all this, that, and the third. And of course, you're going to lock a million more when you're playing, you know, a Sanrio fashion gacha-like game. You already know there's going to be so many. Trust me, I'm not complaining. The more, the better. Okay. But the game does have a pretty cutesy storyline. You get thrown into the little dream village of Smile Town, and your first thing is to go see the king. And the king says you have to get some sort of flower seed, which is to help grow the prosperity and harmony, I believe, of the village or something like that. I don't really know what the reasoning is for the flowers and stuff, but it gives you something to do every day. You have to come back and water your flowers, which is, you know, they want you to keep playing the game and spending the money, so I get it. But I do like the aspect of growing flowers. I am a person who loves flowers, so, you know, I didn't have a problem with that. But this game still is up and running and bustling. There, I believe, is a whole website and stuff talking about this game with many more features. I'm just kind of getting into it myself, so I'm taking what I'm saying with a grain of salt, but I do like this game. I think it's cute, especially a nice revamp that doesn't really cost anything. I will say, though, the gacha stuff I've seen on the game so far can be costly. If you're a person who, you know, gets a little too obsessed with gacha games, I don't know if I would recommend this, because I think I saw something for like a price of like $500 US or something. And honestly, you can quote me on that because I definitely had seen it and it really shocked me. Just be careful, okay? Free with air quotes. But from playing it so far, I think the mini games are actually really cool. I love all the stylistic choices in here. I think they're super awesome. Even being able to customize your little buddy that you choose with the different outfits is so awesome. There's something to do in each of the little worlds. It's really, really a cute game. Now, would I say this game is better than Hello Kitty Island Adventure? That maybe not. I don't know. I guess that would depend on the style of games that you like. I think Hello Kitty Island Adventure is a bit more story heavy as opposed to this is a bit more light, airy mini games, not really anything super cohesive in here. So I say this is an option for a game, but really depends on what types of games you like. For me, I don't necessarily have a preference, although I think if I had to choose between the two, I probably would play Hello Kitty Island adventure outside of this. This feels just like a regular old mobile game, and to be honest, I don't love playing mobile games all that much, but you know, every once in a while if I get bored on a train ride or something, might pick up a mobile game. So I definitely say this is really up to you and what you like the most. But I will say I did make my character look as closely like me as possible. Like, I think I unlocked some slippers in the game, which I am currently wearing in real life. So why did I, when I saw the price of them, it was $1, guys, okay? So don't judge me, okay? It was $1 and I'm gonna keep playing the game. So $1 to get my girl looking like this, I'm gonna spend it, okay? Her and I are basically twins. Look at those slippers, okay? So don't hate me. Anyways, let's move on to a couple honorable mentions before I talk about a little bit of my gripes with that Hello Kitty price tag and whether I think it's a bang for your buck outside of the games I had talked about today. Okay, I really only have like 2 honorable mentions, and this was just because these were like 2 games that I was researching while making this video and was like, dang, I wish I could play that. So here's the first one. First one we're talking about is Keroppi no Bouken Niki. In other words, it means the adventure diary of Keroppi. I believe that's what it means. I could be wrong, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it means. Now this game looks so freaking awesome. It came out for the NES in the early 90s, I believe 1991, and it only came out in Japan. There isn't an English release, unfortunately. There's probably some English translations out there now, but I couldn't find any, that is. But this game looks so awesome for a couple reasons. This is like an introductory style RPG game that came out for the NES. It was kind of focused for younger players, but it kind of has this feel almost like a Pokemon game. You get these encounters of these monsters trying to fight Keroppi, and you gotta save the day. Also, you know, it's just all this cute stuff. Basically, the game starts where Keroppi and his girlfriend, they're going to a forest, and when they go to take a little lunch break, they prepare some donuts to eat. It becomes dark, and Keroppi realizes that he's all by himself in the forest. So his girlfriend, I think her name's Caroline, I want to say that's her name. She's been kidnapped by some kind of dark, mysterious monster, and Keroppi decides that he's going to save her, which I think is so heroic and super cute for a little JRPG game. And I would have totally loved this. They totally should reboot this. I want to see the Hello Kitty RPG game, and if there's one out there that I haven't heard of, write it in the comments below, because I would love to find something similar to this. This is so freaking awesome. It sounds to me like Keroppi was like the OG Hello Kitty, because like dude was really out here doing all the heavy hardcore stuff. He was trying to save his girl, he was fighting monsters. I don't care, but Keroppi's about to be my new cinema roll, okay? Look at little dude go, you know, busting his butt, kicking down monsters. Overall, so freaking cute. And secondly, really briefly, I just want to talk about Hello Kitty Seasons. Now, I've never played this game before, but it actually, while researching it, it looked pretty cool. This game came out for the Wii in 2011, and honestly, I really like this. At least the whole style of the game. I might actually pick this up in the future. I saw it on Amazon. It was like running for about $20, but it looked really cool. When you start the game, you get to customize your character, just how we were talking about for the mobile game. You can be a male or a female, and you become the mayor of Kitty's town. Like, isn't that freaking awesome? You're literally the mayor. Like, Animal Crossing New Leaf, where are you? You know, low-key, I wonder if this maybe inspired it, because this game, what, did I say 2011? It actually meant 2010, but yeah, no, you just run errands, you play mini games, and you get to become friends with the people in town. Honestly, really awesome concept, so I kinda loving it. It's very cutesy. That's my thoughts on the 2 honorable mentions of just a couple games I haven't played before. Let's move on to Hello Kitty Island Adventure and how I think it's going to hold up in the rest of the Hello Kitty games and where I see it going. So let's get into Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Now this game originally came out in 2023 for iOS devices only. It wasn't out for anything else, but it's soon getting a release date for the Nintendo Switch and for PC, and later getting a release date for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 on January 30th, 2025, which might be a day from now depending on when you're watching this, or it might already be out. Now, Apple users got really lucky with this release because this game came out only for Apple Arcade. Now, granted, Apple Arcade is $6.99 a month, but I mean included in that subscription, you did get a chance to play this game. Now, for some people, I don't think I'll really be talking about any spoilers of the game, really. If you plan on getting this game, regardless of what I'm talking about, I don't think I'm going to be really spoiling too much of you, but I will be talking about the gameplay a little bit here and there, so just giving you a heads up. Now, before I get into the thoughts about my opinions about whether I think this game is worth the super high price tag, let's first start talking about the game itself. Right off the rip, you find yourself on an airplane talking to Hello Kitty, who tells you are on a journey to go to a beautiful island inhabited with Sanrio characters. So in this game, you are going to be adventuring throughout the characters because, well, as you'll come to find out in these beginning stages of the game, you have to jump onto the island, and some of the characters are missing when you guys jump out of the airplane to get to the island. So you have to go around solving these puzzles and quizzes, trying to find the characters, along with new quests being unlocked and all kinds of stuff. You become better friends with the characters, along with a couple optional quests that you have to do here and there. Now, I haven't gotten super far into this Apple Arcade version of the game so far. I've just been playing a little bit here and there, but I will say I am enjoying the game so far. I made myself a cute little lamb or a sheep or whatever you want to call her, and basically you get your own cabin. There's different clothing items you can unlock, and you get to spend time with your favorite Sanrio characters. There's a lot to love about this game, and I will say a lot of people will find enjoyment in it. I'm not making this video in like a don't buy this sort of game. I'm more making it as sort of an awareness to say, is this game worth $6.99 or $60? Another thing I want to say is that there is no in-app purchases with the game either, so I feel like that's also kind of a plus. So I mean, like, if you could get the game for $6, I mean, why wouldn't you? Now, if I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know if this game is catered toward children or like maybe young adults. It's kind of hard to tell, being that this is about to become a platform game. I think this is just for all of the girlies who might have grown up with Hello Kitty, who wants a more kind of thorough, thought out type of game. Because when I think about the whole idea of this game, it's not very thorough. It's not like you're solving sort of some in-depth story. Like, there are events that you can do during real in-time things, so it takes time for, you know, certain things to be built. There's crafting, you know, there's like little events you can do depending on, you know, what season or what time it is in real life, you know, all that kind of cool stuff. But with that being said, I think this kind of gives me more of like an Animal Crossing feel, so I definitely can see why it's becoming more of a platform game as opposed to just being a mobile game. Overall though, I think the game so far, as I've been playing it, has been very cozy. I would really like to see the differences between playing this on my Nintendo Switch or my Steam Deck as opposed to playing it on the phone. I will say this. After having had played it for a couple hours on my actual iPhone, you guys are just looking at footage from when I had first started playing it, I will say playing it on the phone kind of sucks, I'm gonna be completely honest. But for someone who might have put a lot of time and effort into a game like this, which I know a lot of people do, especially if you don't have a Nintendo Switch and you play something like, you know, the iPhone for your normal mobile gaming, I would be kind of disappointed to know that, you know, you can't transfer your data onto some of these other platforms platforms. So that's something kind of unfortunate, especially if you've been playing this for a long time. Another thing I've been seeing around, granted I don't know all the details ins and out, I've seen a lot of things aren't going to be different. I think that the game is going to be a direct reboot from the Apple Arcade into, well, the PlayStation or the PC and the Nintendo Switch. Not too many changes really will be made from my understanding. So if we're taking into the consideration that the game is going to be exactly the same, and that's just speculation, I know the game comes out very, very soon, so we'll know for ourselves, but if we're taking the game for really what it is, I'm gonna be honest, it's hard to tell. I put it this way, from what I've seen online, and at least from me playing this game just for a couple hours, I can definitely see me putting a lot of time into this. When I can say I can put over 80 hours in a game that I really like, I think it's worth the price, as opposed to being able to only get 10 hours out of a game that's full price. For instance, I could compare this to something like Princess Peach Showtime that was full price $60, but I only got 10 hours out of the game. Already right off the bat, I think I've already spent about 6 hours playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure, and I know I'm still in the beginning stages of the game. So I feel like when you look at it in that perspective, I honestly think that maybe the $40 to $60 might not really be that bad of a price point. Now, I can't speak for whether you should get the standard or the deluxe version of this game, but I can say that if you have already played the Apple Arcade version, to be honest, I would just get the regular standard version. Now, if you've never played this game before, I honestly might opt for the $60 deluxe edition, though I think the only things you really get from the deluxe edition are things that had come out in past events that were already out for Apple Arcade, so I think for some people that might be worth having if you want kind of a boost when the game starts, not to mention if you're a huge Sanrio character fan and you never got a chance to play this type of game, I definitely can see, hey, you know what, I love the game so much, the deluxe stuff might really help me in the long run, on top of, you know, just giving me that little bit of extra stuff that I never got to experience because I never had Apple Arcade. Another thing to add to this game is that this is a cozy game. I really think with cozy games you have to make the most of what you have with them, especially because you are almost giving yourself things to do. If you're not a person who really enjoys cozy games, I honestly would try to find a friend with an iPad and just play this game for a little bit if you've never played it before to see if this is going to be something you actually enjoy. For me, I actually like cozy games. I don't spend all day playing cozy games because if I'm going to play a cozy game, it's going to be a cozy farming game. But for someone like me, I honestly might try to get the deluxe version. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do it right away because I have been playing the Apple Arcade version for so long, but before I get too in-depth with it, I probably will make that decision very soon before I decide if I'm going to go full phone or if I'm going to go switch over to, well, my Nintendo Switch. Now, if I'm being completely honest, the fact that they labeled this game $6.99 is really what frustrates me about the whole $60 price. Now, for anyone, I feel like $6 really isn't that bad, especially because I feel like you can get a lot out of this game, but if you really think about that, what is it, $5 or $6 price, you're not just getting this game, you're getting a multitude of games if you're using the Apple Arcade, so I feel like that feels fair. On another hand, though, I'm just debating how much effort and time you want to put into something versus, well, when you're already paying a subscription for it, it's kind of like you can pick it up and put it down whenever you want, as opposed to if I'm paying $60 for a game, I want a full-fledged game, you know? I think it's kind of like when you say something you don't really mean and then you try to change it and cover it up by saying, oh, that's not really what I meant for the price. I think that's what frustrates a lot of users, especially with this price tag, and being that there's not going to be much changed about it, I definitely understand the frustrations, and even I'm a bit frustrated. You know, I didn't even want Apple Arcade. I literally got it just to play this darn game. And now what? I gotta drop another $60 on something? I think it also depends on what kind of gamer you are in terms of how you like to play games. I'm gonna be honest, I know the price is steep, and like I said earlier, I'm probably gonna end up getting it. It's just because I don't really like playing phone games, and I think that's where they really get you, is because they know people don't really like mobile gaming, which is why, you know, with that $5 arcade subscription, you get a lot of games because they know a lot of people don't really like using their phone to play games. So, you know, I think it's just a catch-22 when it comes to this kind of stuff, and for me, I definitely don't like mobile games, and if I want to play a game, it has to be on a PC, it has to be on a Switch, it has to be on something, because I will not be playing it on my phone, okay? Now, I'm sure I could ramble on further talking about different reasonings. I personally think I'm still going to try out the other version of the game, and I'd like to do a follow-up in the near future talking about some of the differences, if there are any. That being said though, I think it's really up to the beholder and if they really want to play this game as opposed to just sucking it up and using it on their phone. What do you guys think? And let me know in the comments below if there's a Hello Kitty game I missed here that you want me to talk about in the near future. So honestly, what did you think? I personally don't know if Hello Kitty Island Adventure Deluxe Edition is worth it, nor do I even think if the standard version is worth it. I'm gonna leave all of the comments down to you on what you guys think about those price tags and whether you think it's worth the bang for your buck. In some sense, I say it's nice. Having a handheld console to actually play games on is way better than playing it on your phone, but for triple the price tag, suck it up, okay? I don't know. We'll find out all the details once the game actually releases in a couple days, and I'm hoping to do a follow-up video comparing the two games once it actually comes out. Anyways, if you like this video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, leave me any comments down below, and I hope to see you in my next video. Anyways, bye! Honestly, instead of you guys, playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure, just click on one of these videos, because this is probably gonna be way more in your budget, low-key free actually, you just gotta watch. So click on this. You don't want that game. You want these. Well, these. Okay, anyways, bye.